Hello there and welcome to Tom's Warhammer Minis. The Feculent Gnarlmaws will take root wherever the armies of Nurgle gather. These rotten, repulsive trees ring with a tolling of entropic chimes and shed rot-wet blossoms to carpet the befouled earth beneath their branches. Now in this tutorial, I'll showcase my take on this disgustingly awesome bit of terrain to easily paint up yours in next to no time at all using the power of contrast paints. And this will be the first part of 3 videos for the upcoming Regiment of Renown, the Pustules. So, grab your paints, grab your brushes, let's get hobbying. And we're starting our Feculent Gnarlmaw. It's a very disturbing piece of scenery, but it's very awesome. So to begin with, we've got some things to note. The model is fully assembled. It says paint the interior first. We can easily reach the insides, and I'll show you how as we go along. It is primed in white scar. I want that bright, vivid finish. And it has got a base. Now the model itself doesn't come with a base. I've just had a bit of a big spare one and I've just stuck it on. It does hang over the edge, but it just means for me it's easier to paint. I can hold it in the handle and none of the paint's chipping off as I hold it. So let's begin. All this bright yellow that you're seeing here, it is Nazdreg Yellow. And I finished down ever so slightly. So we're talking roughly a 4-part Nazdreg Yellow to 1 part Lahmium Medium mix. Now, the Lahmium Medium in this sense is just going to thin it down ever so slightly to give us control and flow. It's not going to thin the colour down. That's the 4 parts of Nazdreg Yellow keeping that same consistency. When you paint it over these main 3 sections here, you're going to find it is going to pull ever so slightly towards the bottom. Keep an eye on that. We don't want it too heavy. So we've got the main 3 sections here. All the pus spots you see around the tree, just take your time, pick those out. Use the box art as reference because that's going to show you where they all are because they are easy to miss. You've got all these tentacles as you can see. Now they are pink but they do have an undertone, so we're going to treat this as an undertone and you'll see as we work along. And then we've got the inside of the tree itself. Now I recommend a small airbrush, and what I do recommend here to really make life easy, when you apply it thickly as in the paint inside here, because what's going to happen is with Nazdreg Yellow, when it's got that recess shading, it's almost brown. The heavier you apply it, the browner it is, and that's going to work wonders in obviously avoiding having to do too much detail on the inside, whereas the maggots remain yellow, which is obviously what we want, but the inside around them, that kind of soil just becomes this disturbing sort of yellow and brown, which is absolutely perfect. Just beware, you've got one little skull amongst them, so don't catch that, but just apply the paint a bit heavier than you normally would, just so it settles very darkly into the recesses. It will take a long time to dry. Obviously the thicker you apply it, the wetter it is, the longer it's going to dry. Get those details done, we'll move on to the next stage. Next up, we're going to focus on all of the flies, just to give that distinguishing bit of colour, because we want them to stand out against obviously the dark coloured bark of the tree. Now first of all, just going to point out where they are. You've got on the back here, you've got this section up here, here, down the bottom here, turn it round to face the front, and just it's on the branch up here. Nice and simple, those 4 locations. The colour that I've used here is Terradon Turquoise. This is over the body and over the wings. They're only small, so it just makes sense to paint them all in that one colour. Now once it's dried completely, I've taken Coelia Greenshade, painted it straight over that, just to give it a bit more depth and definition. Nice and simple. Next up, we're taking Skeleton Horde, and this is going to be for quite a few different details. First of all, you've got all the bones. Nice and simple. Bones and skulls, paint them as you would with Skeleton Horde. Come to the front, you've got this wide open mouth. Now it's full of teeth, and then you've obviously got like a kind of gum line that blends into the tree. Now what I'm going to do is go for a sort of fleshy kind of tone blending into the teeth. So to begin with, we're just painting Skeleton Horde straight over the teeth, straight over the mouth. Now there are a little few areas more to the bottom around here where you can just catch, or just not catch, but you can see the teeth on the other side just ever so slightly. However, when you get to this point here, I have looked at every possible angle, you just really can't get it in. So don't even worry about trying to jam brushes in and stuff, just focus on the front. Just turn it around and see what areas you can see. That kind of example. Then on the back here, you've got the little Nurgling poking its way out the tree like a gorgeous little brute it is. Simply with the Skeleton Horde, I painted the teeth, painted the horn. Nice and simple. Next up, we're going to base coat all the rocks on the base. Just once again, making sure we distinguish all the colours before we go heavy on the main large areas, which is all just one kind of colour. Colour we're using for the rocks is Basilicanum Grey. It is thinned down just to give, these large flat surface areas a chance of having it without pooling. We're talking a 2-to-1 mix, so 2 parts Basilicanum Grey, 1 part Lahmium Medium. And just nice and simple, go around, find each rock, paint it on. Simple as. Next up, before we continue with the actual colour of the tree that I've done, we've got a bit of skeleton horde that I missed. It happens sometimes when you're creating these tutorials, but we're going to point it out. It's quite obvious. It's these great big growths that are coming out the side of these big maggot wheels, so to speak. Each one's got bones going around. Simple, start at the bottom, work your way down to the top. This one, start the actual part here, working your way down. Nice and simple, get those painted. Now, moving on to the tree, it is going to be brown. It is going to be a lot darker in the next step, but we need an underlayer. We're going for a very sickly looking colour, and the colour is Aggaros Dunes. Yes, it's similar to Skeleton Horde, it's subtly different. We're creating a mix, roughly 3 parts of Aggaros Dunes to 1 part Lahmium Medium. It's going to help us thin it down and give us a lot of control of the flow, because we don't want drying lines. Drying lines are going to be inevitable in certain areas. It's just one of those things, no matter how speedy and quick you are, but it's not going to be a huge issue because we're going to be going over the brown. As long as it's not so evident, just keep moving the paint around. Tips, start at the top. I started on this branch up here, work your way down, do it up to this kind of section here. You've got this natural build line, move on to a different tree until you get sort of close together, and just start in a large flat area and just bring it down, going from left to right. So essentially, for example, start here, where obviously you're not going to get a drying line on this end, work your way around all the way to the other side. Nice and simple, take your time, get it all covered. You've obviously got the backs of these protrusions as well, including the one which I haven't missed this time, the one that's behind up here as well. And just a very quick note before we do move on to the next stage, just something to point out about Aggaros Dunes, a little handy hobby tip. Now, with the Nazdreg Yellow, obviously we want to avoid the pus spots, but the beauty of the Aggaros Dunes is, in this thinned down form, as it is, it doesn't alter them. You can actually paint straight over the spots. It's going to make no difference whatsoever. Just slightly darken the recesses around them a bit more, so if that's what you want, go for it. Obviously in the next stage when I add in that brown paint, we are going to have to avoid them. But it's just a handy little hobby tip to know. Next up, I'm going to start deviating from the box art, and this is kind of to try and take on an aspect of warmth. Now, when things are ill, when we're ill, when we're feverish, we end up having quite a high temperature, and we kind of see this quite often on Nurgle miniatures, where that kind of sickly warmth starts to glow through. And this is what I want to achieve with the wood. I want to create an effect that looks like it's wood, but there's something wrong with it, i.e. the Nurgle wrongness. And this is what I'm achieving here, and the colour I'm using here is Garaghak. Now, over the wood that we're seeing here, obviously I'm avoiding all the pus spots this time, taking my time being neat, taking it section by section. I'm creating a mix of 2 parts of Garaghak to 1 part of Lahmium Medium. This is going to give me a lot of control. I made quite a big mix because obviously there's a lot of surface area to cover. Things to just watch out for, obviously the spots, obviously the flies, but you do have these little build lines that go all the way down, and I've used that as a kind of reference point that, you know what, I could paint along this line, fill in the left. Once that's completely done, start on the right. It just makes sense. It really helps to avoid the drying lines, but that 2-to-1 mix means there's a lot more Lahmium Medium involved, there's a lot more control, there's a lot more leeway when it comes to drying lines. So just take your time, get that all done. But with pure Garaghak, I've painted the inside wood. Now, it is a bit tricky to get into some places. Essentially what you want to do is get an old brush, one that's knackered, had its day, but is good for mixing things. Put a bit of paint on, get it into these large open area holes. So you've got one here, and you've got this main section here. Essentially, we're just flicking it around. Just get a surface, flick the paint around with the bristles of the brush, and just catch as many surface areas as possible. You can absolutely catch the majority of them. The hardest ones to catch are the top left, and obviously the top right, but the top right is almost impossible to see anyway. But you can just catch a couple of areas with a small airbrush, again one that's old and had its day, just for the top here. Essentially, you can catch most of it. So just take your time, get that done. And of course, if you do get paint accidentally on these parts, just wash the brush, and while it's damp, just wipe off the paint. Nice and simple. Next up, we're base coating the soil, and we're creating a rather cool mix here. It is roughly 1 part of Black Legion to roughly 1 part of Wyldwood, and I have added a few drops of Lahmium Medium just with a paintbrush just to give it a little bit of extra flow over these large surface areas, but we're not talking enough Lahmium Medium to add to the ratio. So it is a 1-to-1 mix of Black Legion and Wyldwood, and as you can see, it creates just a slightly darker Wyldwood. It's just really effective. It's not really dark, but it just stands out noticeably enough against that sickly looking wood that we've created. Nice and simple, there's nothing really to it. Just take your time, swap from a small airbrush to your normal sort of base brushing that you would use depending on which area you're going on. Next up, we're taking Black Templar, and this is just going to be for the 3 ropes that are holding out these bells. Not everyone has a rope, some of these are metallic details. So the ropes facing the front, 1, 2, and then this one here. I mean, this one's not even attached to a bell, but it's still a rope. Just those 3 ones. With Black Templar, nice. Next up, we're focusing on that sassy little Nurgling poking his way out of the tree. Nice and simple, we're taking 2 paints here. Firstly, a base coat of Gut Ripper flesh, obviously avoiding the teeth, obviously avoiding the horn. Once that's completely dry, we're going to take Poxwalker, and once again, avoiding the teeth, avoiding the horn, shade the Gut Ripper flesh. Now at this stage, I'm not doing the eye. It's going to be the same colour as the little eye for the flies. It makes sense to do it at the end. So for now, that's base coated. Next up, we want to tie all those colours together to create this overall theme of just grunge, grime, disease and horror. And the colour we're going to use here is Athonian Camoshade. Now this green shade paint has kind of got an earthly feel, but over these colours, it just blends them together and just makes everything just feel a little bit more wrong in the greatest way possible when it comes to miniature painting. So literally every detail we've painted thus far, we're putting Athonian Camoshade straight over it. Obviously checking for areas where it's going to pull, like for example I mentioned at the beginning, the Nazdreg Yellow under the hair, the tentacles. Just keep an eye on it as you move around. We've not thinned the paint down, just let it go all over, settle into the recesses and just create this real grungy effect. The only place I haven't applied it on is the little Nurgling. We don't need to do it for that, but the rest of it just goes straight over. It doesn't alter the details too much, like you see the Nazdreg Yellow. It still keeps it there, but it just darkens the recesses down. Just makes everything just a little bit darker and more vivid. Next up, we want to tie all those colours together to create this overall theme of just grunge, grime, disease and horror. And the colour we're going to use here is Athonian Camoshade. Now this green shade paint has kind of got an earthly feel, but over these colours, it just blends them together and just makes everything just feel a little bit more wrong in the greatest way possible when it comes to miniature painting. So literally every detail we painted thus far, we're putting Athonian Camoshade straight over it. Obviously checking for areas where it's going to pull, like for example I mentioned at the beginning, the Nazdreg Yellow under the hair, the tentacles. Just keep an eye on it as you move around. We've not thinned the paint down. Just let it go all over, settle into the recesses and just create this real grungy effect. The only place I haven't applied it on is the little Nurgling. We don't need to do it for that, but the rest of it just goes straight over. It doesn't alter the details too much, like you see the Nazdreg Yellow. It still keeps it there, but it just darkens the recesses down. Just makes everything just a little bit darker and more vivid. And finally, we're going to highlight all of those details in one go. The colour I'm using here is Screaming Skull. Take a medium-sized dry brush and just go to town with it. Obviously, make sure most of the excess paint is wiped off. You don't want it to sort of chalk all over those details, but just take your time, brush every single detail. So this is including the Nurgling, the maggots, just go all over. Nice and simple. The only area I haven't dry brushed, and this is more because I don't want to wreck my dry brush, is the maggots on the inside. It's not necessary. It's in shadow and it kind of helps to have that effect that it's not been highlighted. Obviously the tentacles, they have a pinkish hue. We're going to do that in the next step, as well as the metallic bells, but for now that completes all the remaining details. Next up, we're going to go for the base coat colours for the metallics, the shade paint as well as the highlight. Nice and simple. First of all, for all of our silver details, and this is just really the chains, we're going with iron wires, nice and dark and silver. For the actual bells themselves, I've gone with Balthazar Gold. And just a note, with the bells you have got the interior as well as the chain that goes up on the hollow parts of the bigger bells. The smaller bells don't have that at all. Once everything's completely dry, I've shaded both the silver and the bronze with Targor Raid Shade. Just creates a sort of brownish unifying colour. Once that's completely dry, just a cheeky dry brush of Stormhost Silver just to pick out the edges, just to give them a natural shine. We're going to add some Verdigris in the next step, but this just gets it all set up in place. Next up, we're finishing off those tentacles, giving it that pinkish hue. The colour we're going to use is the Lupus Pink, and this is a rather good paint. It's quite translucent in its properties. We're going to make it even more so. Simply take it into a palette, take some Lahmium Medium. We're talking a 1-to-1 mix. And there's no real method, just start at the top of each tentacle, apply the paint all over. As you can see, you've still got the Nazdreg Yellow underneath, but the thinness with the Lahmium Medium, it gives it a good flow. Obviously check for pooling in certain areas, but it just tints it to that pinkish kind of colour, and it just looks wrong in the right Nurgle way. So take your time, get that done, and let it dry. Scarlet, this is going to be for all the eyes. And when I say all the eyes, I literally mean all the eyes, because there's quite a few. You've obviously got the single eye of the Nurgling, and then you've got 2 little dots on the heads of each of the individual flies. Just get a small airbrush, just have a tip of the Evil Sun Scarlet on it, and just dab each eye. Nice and simple. Just to point out, I have applied the Volupus Pink to the outside of this open mouth in the front of the tree. Just something I forgot to do, just like the tentacles. We're not, filling it down anywhere. It's the 1-to-1 mix. Just apply it straight over to create that nice flesh tone. Now, moving on, we're going to add Verdigris. Now, if you've seen my Death Guard tutorials, you'll understand the theory behind this. We're going to take 2 parts Briar Queen Chill to roughly 1 part of Lilac Oxide. Now, this technical paint is the Verdigris effect. The Briar Queen Chill is the contrast paint that's a matching colour, essentially turning the Verdigris paint that's technical into a contrast, giving you a lot more control. Nice to simply apply as much or as little as you want. Obviously, we're doing it on the bronze details, but I'm copying the heavy metal style of the model, and I've applied it among the soil of the base, just to give it a very odd, very disgusting kind of, look. So, little areas, you've got the rock there that I applied it into, as well as the 3 circles on the back of the tree, just like the heavy metal team did with theirs. Nice and simple, just take your time and just let that contrast paint mix, which if you've not done before, just gives you that a little bit more control. And finally, this is an optional choice that I've gone with. I've taken a bit of Nurgle's Rock, because why not on a model like this? Nice and simple, just I've added random splotches, some thicker, some thinner, here and there, around the tree, because it's very sort of eerie kind of vibe, especially with that Verdigris blue that we've applied to it. Real proper horror looks there. But again, that's down to you if you want to. At this stage, the model is complete. All I'm going to do is just add a couple of tufts just to give it a little bit more of areas of interest, and then we'll just quickly showcase it at the end. And there we have it. The Feculent Gnarlmaw is complete. Now, whether this is for 40k or AOS, it's just a great Nurgle piece of scenery, full of detail, but with the power of contrast, it's just incredibly simple and easy to paint. So, if this video has helped and inspired you, then be sure to click that like button. Share so others can find the channel and be supported too. And please do subscribe. It all supports the channel, and it means I get to continue supporting you, the awesome Warhammer community. So, until the next time, look after yourselves and happy hobbying.